hidden from her child. Calm, she'd learned, was important, even if it was faked. Even when Rosie had moved from child to adult, there had been no reprieve. Some children grew out of asthma. Not Rosie. There'd been a couple of occasions when Rosie was in college when she'd gone to parties without her inhaler. A few hours of dancing later, and she had been rushed to the emergency department. That had been a 3 a.m. phone call too, and Maggie had raced through the night to be by her side. Those were the episodes Maggie knew about. She was sure there were plenty more that Rosie had kept to herself. "I'm breathless because I'm excited. I'm 22, Mum. When are you going to stop worrying?" "That would be never. Your child is always your child, no matter how many candles are on the birthday cake. Where are you?" "I'm with Dan's family in Aspen for Thanksgiving. And I have news." She broke off, and Maggie heard the clink of glasses and Rosie's infectious laugh. It was impossible to hear that laugh and not want to smile too. The sound contrasted with the silence of Maggie's bedroom. A waft of cold air chilled her skin, and she stood up and grabbed her robe from the back of the chair. Honeysuckle Cottage looked idyllic from the outside, but it was impossibly draughty. The ventilation was a relief in August, but froze you to the bone in November. She really needed to do something about the insulation before she even thought about selling the place. Historic charm, climbing roses, and a view of the village green couldn't compensate for frostbite. Or maybe it wasn't the house that was cold. Maybe it was her. Knocked flat by a wave of sadness, and she struggled to right herself. "What's happening? What news? It sounds like you're having a party." "Dan proposed, literally out of the blue. We were taking it in turns to say what we're thankful for, and when it was his turn, he gave me a funny look, and then he got down on one knee and, 'Mum, we're getting married.'" Maggie sat down hard on the edge of the bed, the freezing air forgotten. "Married? But you and Dan have only been together for a few weeks." 11 weeks, 4 days, 6 hours and 15 minutes. Oh, wait, no, now it's 17. She was laughing, and Maggie tried to laugh with her. How should she handle this? "That's not very long, sweetheart." But completely in character for Rosie, who bounced from one impulse to another, powered by enthusiasm. "It feels so right, I can't even tell you. And you'll understand because it was like that for you and Dad." Maggie stared at the damp patch on the wall. Tell her the truth. Her mouth moved, but she couldn't push the words out. This was the wrong time. She should have done it months ago, but she'd been too much of a coward. And now it was too late. She didn't want to be the slayer of happy moments. She couldn't even say "you're too young," because she'd been the same age when she had had Katie, which basically made her a hypocrite. Or did it make her someone with experience? "You've just started your postgrad." "I'm not giving it up. I can be married and study. Plenty do it." Maggie couldn't argue with that. "I'm happy for you." Did she sound happy? She tried harder. "Woohoo!" She'd thought she'd white-knuckled her way through all the toughest parts of parenting, but it turned out there were still some surprises waiting for her. Rosie wasn't a child anymore. She had to be allowed to make her own decisions. And her own mistakes. Rosie was talking again. "I know it's all a bit fast, but you're going to love Dan as much as I do. You said you thought he was great when you spoke to him." But speaking to someone on a video call wasn't the same as meeting them in person, was it? Maggie swallowed down all the words of warning that rose up inside her. She was not going to turn into her own mother and send clouds to darken every bright moment. "He seemed charming, and I'm thrilled for you. If I don't sound it, it's because it's the middle of the night here, and you know what I'm like when I've just woken up. When I saw your name pop up on the screen, I was worried it was your asthma. Haven't had an attack in ages. I'm sorry I woke you, but I wanted to share my news." "I'm glad you woke me. Tell me everything." She closed her eyes and tried to pretend her daughter was in the room with her and not thousands of miles away. There was no reason to panic. It was an engagement, that was all. There was plenty of time for them to